Hey, welcome to Squarebody Stuff. I'm Chad. We've got cream puff in the shop. We're going to be putting that there radiator in him. Of course, we've got some fans going in the windows. It's a little bit warm today. It's not bad. Not as bad as it has been. At least the humidity's kind of low, so it's not too bad in the shop here. But we're going to be putting this radiator in. I'll kind of go over what I'm going to do, then probably just do a time lapse. It's a little easier that way because I don't know. I mean, radiators aren't that complicated to remove and replace and all that stuff. But I'll show you what kind of radiator we got, where we got it, and how we got this these electric fans set up in this truck. This is I believe it's a Champion brand. I got it donated to the channel from another YouTube channel called Ugly Truck Experience. Go check them out. I'll have a link to their YouTube channel in the description box. So go check them out. They got a lot of cool stuff going on there. But they pulled this radiator out of a '78 Bonanza. It's a real beautiful truck. I've got some videos of it if you want to go back and look. But they done an LS swap in it, and they didn't use this radiator when they got done with it. So they had it sitting there. I went to visit them. They said, hey, we're going to donate this radiator for whatever you want to use it for. And I've decided to go ahead and use it in cream puff because his radiator is leaking quite profusely. But at least I mean, you can't see where it's leaking because I got the AC condenser in the way, but about 4 or 5 inches down over here on the passenger side, it's got a pretty good hole. I thought about trying to patch that, but I got to looking at the radiator, and it's been patched and patched before, so I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. I thought about using that radiator there in Squeaky, my so-called race truck, but I think this radiator it'll do better in cream puff here. Once I get the air conditioner charged and all that stuff, it's going to need the extra cooling capacity, and the radiator that's in old Squeaky out there, it's always kept up pretty good. So we might use that fan on Squeaky because it's a little bit lighter. It moves a lot of air, but it's a lot lighter than the I've got the fans over here right there that are out of Squeaky. That's kind of a heavy unit. Dual fans, not really necessary for Squeaky, just pretty much running up and down the drag strip. So what we're going to do is, I've already got the battery unhooked. That'd be the first thing you want to do when you're doing anything, really, just a good practice to get into. And yes, my wiring is a mess. I hate wiring because I get fed up with trying to get it run and get everything to work. Then once I get it to work, I just kind of tape it up, zip tie it up, and call it good. But I'm going to try to clean this up a little bit when I go back together with this. The first thing I'm going to do is take the fans out. I'm going to go ahead and unhook the upper radiator hose and my heater hose to make it easier to get the fans out, because my coolant level is already about down here. I'm not going to drain the radiator quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and pull the fans out. These fans are out of a 95 Ford Windstar. Yes, they are out of a Ford, but I had brackets made for them. These were actually in my rock crawler. They worked really great for it. It had a big block in it. We could crawl and go all day long out in the heat in the middle of summer, and it would keep that big block cool. So they work really great. Well, that wasn't a horrible mess. But anyways, Now I'm going to go ahead and continue on unbolting stuff and pulling it out. As you can see, it's been kind of repaired there, maybe down there. And this side has got some really bad spots. This is where it was leaking the worst. I mean, it could probably be fixed, patched up. I might do that in the future, but now I get this fan off of here and get this radiator to be put back in. I'm gonna take this hose off. It looks fairly new, but I know my hose is pretty much brand new too, so I'll reuse it. So I'll get the fan off real quick. Installation should just be reverse removal, right? No. I don't think there's anything I'm really going to clean up a whole lot in here. Once I get the radiator back in, then I'll try to tidy up my wiring a little bit. Knowing me, I'm probably going to get lazy and not do a whole lot of it, so I just want to make sure the truck runs good and it's cool. So I'll get this thing back in. Okay, so I was having some technical difficulties with my camera. It kept overheating for some reason. It's not that hot. I don't know what's going on. It's just the way it is. I've got it all buttoned up. I've got it started up, warming up, and got my wires kind of tidied up. They look better than what they did. Maybe not the best in the world, but they're better than it was. So let me show you what we got going on. The wires look a little bit better. I'm just waiting for it to heat up so my fans can come on. One of my fans is hooked to the thermostatic switch here on the intake. Right now we're 173. I think it opens up at like 200. That radiator is only 123. Yeah, okay. But only one of my fans, I think that one over there kicks on when the engine gets up to temperature. This other one kicks on when I turn the AC on, which is not charged right now. It'll come on if I turn the AC on. Oh, I had a fan kick on. Yep, that fan kicked on like it's supposed to. Maybe it's 180. I don't remember the temperature on that. But all that switch is a ground. When it gets hot enough, it grounds out this relay over here. The other relay is hooked to the AC switch. Let's look and see what our temperature gauge looks like. Yeah. Normally when it gets up almost to that halfway mark, the fan will kick on. And it's kicked on and it's coming down a little bit. If this radiator's doing its job, it should cycle off. I'm running a little low on fuel. I'm not sure if my other tank's got any fuel in it or not. A little bit more, not a whole lot. But the temperature's dropping. We'll go out and see what it looks like. Fan just kicked off. Still seems to be working like it should. Well, I've checked everything, no leaks. Fans worked the way they're supposed to. One of these days I'll get around to charging the AC system back up. I know it's got a slow leak, but one of these days I'm going to upgrade the whole AC system. That'll be way on down the road, but for right now, every once in a while I'll charge it back up and it'll work okay. But the fans are keeping it cool. I think this radiator is going to do its job. It's a way better radiator than what it had in it, and plus it don't have any leaks, so that's a big bonus. Seems to be running okay. I think I call it a win. I appreciate you guys watching. I topped off my transmission fluid. Of course, you got to make sure, because when you take the cooler lines off, you'll lose a little bit of transmission fluid. Topped it off. We're good there. Everything should be good. So, Cream Puff will be back on the road now, and no leaks. Well, at least no coolant leaks. I think I got the transmission leaks fixed in that last video I done on him. But, anyways, I think that's all I got for you now. I appreciate you watching. Until next time, y'all keep your square bodies rolling, and we will catch you later.